Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Madison, Wisconsin for another live edition of Monday Night Raw. And there is your first ever two-time World Heavyweight Champion. That is right, Roman Reigns was able to walk out your new World Heavyweight Champion. And you're wondering why in that triple threat matchup that happened at Summerslam between Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Roman Reigns. Well, you can certainly give props, and all the help went into helping Roman Reigns win that World Heavyweight Championship matchup. That was the enforcer, Solo Sikoa. He took out Dolph Ziggler, hit multiple frog splashes through the announce table, not just one, but two, then set his sights on Drew McIntyre. After that, Drew McIntyre would be taken down multiple times, be thrown in the ring. He fought back a little bit against Roman, but Roman Reigns just did too much at the end, and this man right here, Roman Reigns, walked out World Heavyweight Champion. It's one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, that it's all about the numbers game. Even if it is a triple threat match, it doesn't matter if D-Generation X is in the corner of Dolph Ziggler. It's just the family is just too much. The Bloodlines numbers games are just way too much. And he's just gonna rub it in your face. He's World Heavyweight Champion and King of the Ring winner. Madison, Wisconsin. Acknowledge me, your new World Heavyweight Champion, the man that is going to be dominating the landscape of Monday Night Raw for the foreseeable future. But this is not going to be any ordinary night for this tribal chief. I'm going to explain what I mean. While the Bloodline, we got ourselves the job done. The Usos, Solo Sikoa, they defeated D-Generation X in a 2-on-3 handicap match. Then I would go on to become the World Heavyweight Champion. I was going to be walking out with that World Heavyweight Championship no matter what, but with my enforcer by my side, just putting the cherry on top of that damn sundae. But after my hard-fought win against Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt decided to show up and show me who his family is. A man that we don't even know much about, Uncle Howdy, the Viking Raiders, the Undertaker as well. And Undertaker and Bray Wyatt decided to lay me out and put me through a damn table. Everyone is lucky that I don't have a broken frickin' neck or much worse than that after what I had to deal with from Bray Wyatt and the Undertaker. Now, from dealing from D-Generation X to this new kind of Wyatt family, or whatever Bray Wyatt wants to call his new family, if he has his sights on my family, then we'll bring our fire, bring our bloodline, and drop his family in just any second. Bray, I know what you want. You told us last night what you wanted at the end of SummerSlam, after you and Undertaker viciously beat me down. You want this World Heavyweight Championship. You want it. You want a match at the Backlash pay-per-view. And you know what? I am a giving man, but I'm going to add a stipulation to that of you even getting an opportunity for this World Heavyweight Championship. Bray, for you to get a World Heavyweight Championship match, or to even be considered for a World Heavyweight Championship matchup at Backlash, you are going to have to defeat a hand-picked opponent of my choosing tonight in the main event. That could be anyone from my family or anyone random on this Raw roster. So Bray, if you really want this matchup, I would be getting ready if I was you, wherever you're at. Oh, Roman, up here. It's fancy seeing you again. Last time I saw you, I remember myself and Undertaker putting you through both tables. But that might be just me. But you're probably looking for Paul Heyman, and your manager's right here, the man that does all your talking for you. You've been probably looking for him. Well, I've had him here the whole time, and I've been chatting with Paul. Paul and I have been talking a lot, and he's actually been agreeing a lot with me. Maybe just because of my big hand on the back of his neck, but, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm coming after that World Championship, and you feel like you can just run roughshod with the Bloodline. Remember what exactly happened on SmackDown when you were the Universal Champion? What exactly happened to the Bloodline? I took out The Rock, who was the SmackDown General Manager, and then I also took out you, WrestleMania Night 2. I have beaten you at WrestleMania, and I've sure as hell have beaten The Rock, the great one, the people's champion at WrestleMania. And somehow the bloodline is still here, chippering away on Raw, SmackDown, whatever brand they are on now. And you happen to be on my brand here on Monday Night Raw, and that is something that you are not going to have longer control of, because my family is going to be taken over. No more bloodline here on WWE television. But enough venting from me. I'm going to let your advocate, the man that does all your speaking for you, tell you a little about what me and him have been talking about and what exactly is in your future plans here on Raw and even Backlash. Now, Paul, don't try anything stupid, or I'll put you right through this RV window. Roman, I've talked to Bray, and I'm trying my best here. I'm doing my best to, pull your sides and everything like that, and do everything I best I can do for the bloodline. But all I can do is, so I don't get hurt and the bloodline doesn't get hurt, and the crossfire is, Roman, you're going to have to defend your World Heavyweight Championship against Bray Wyatt at Backlash down in Puerto Rico. And also tonight in the main event of Monday Night Raw, it is going to be a family versus family match, a 4-on-4 matchup, where the winner will be able to pick the stipulation for that World Heavyweight Championship match at Backlash. But come on, Roman, can you save me? Come on, he's in our RV bus, can you save me? And now, ladies and gentlemen, we kick us off here live tonight on Monday Night Raw here in Madison, Wisconsin, for some good times with the club, the OC, the original club, the only club that matters, kicking us off here, as it will be Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the former Raw Tag Team Champions. They will be taking on Imperium, where the winning tag team will go on to face the new Raw Tag Team Champions Alpha Academy at Backlash, which is just 4 weeks away, live there in Puerto Rico. And we have ourselves a star-studded night, ladies and gentlemen, from top to bottom. We got number one contender galore matches tonight. Not just this matchup, but coming up next, we got Damage Control versus Lita and Trish. The winner will take on Becky Lynch and Asuka for the Women's Tag Team Championships coming up, as well as a 8-man battle royal later on tonight to determine who Austin Theory will be facing at Backlash as well. And from what I've understood, until we really hear from Shawn Michaels, it sounds like what Roman Reigns wanted, he kind of wanted Bray Wyatt to earn his opportunity, not just give it to him. But Bray Wyatt, from what he's saying, he's talking to Paul Heyman. We saw that on the RV, on the Bloodlines RV there, that Bray Wyatt had him held hostage back there. That's why Paul Heyman was not out there with him. And, it sounds like there's a little bit more to that story. And I'm being told we will be hearing from your Raw General Manager, Shawn Michaels, later on tonight to address that whole situation of that World Heavyweight Championship. Because right now, from what we are understanding, and from what Bray Wyatt was saying as well, is it's going to be a family versus family matchup tonight. It's going to be an 8-man tag team matchup where it's going to be the Bloodline taking on Bray Wyatt's own family. But we'll, like I said, we'll hear from your Raw General Manager Shawn Michaels later on tonight. But right now, we have Imperium taking on the OC. You see the Ring General Gunther out here accompanying Imperium out here. Unfortunately for Gunther, he kind of fallen up a little bit short. In his matchup against Seth Rollins, was not too happy. He was put through a table. It was a hard-fought match. It was very brutal. It wasn't one of those matches where they just grabbed him and put him through a table. These guys, honestly, it didn't even feel like these guys wanted to put any of their opponents through the table that night. It honestly felt like they were out there to beat the living crap out of each other. But a star-studded group is Imperium, ladies and gentlemen. You get the former Raw Tag Team Champions. You got Gunther, a former United States Champion and main event talent here on Monday Night Raw. And we'll see what's next for Gunther in the near future. But here we go. Referee rings the bell. We got Ludwig Kaiser and Luke Gallows Gonna see how this is gonna fare here. Is Luke Gallows with a big time choke slam, slamming Ludwig Kaiser all the way down to hell. But SummerSlam was a huge success for the Raw brand. A lot of big time matches there. We saw your United Kingdom champion Bronson Reed run through Santos Escobar. I thought that matchup was going to be very competitive, but Bronson Reed, he was coming right out of the gate, especially that suicide dive through the middle rope, changed the trajectory of that matchup quite a bit, and Bronson Reed would eventually hit through Tsunami on Santos Escobar, and it was all she wrote from there. Also, Austin Theory, he is still your United States champion, as he was able to outlast Carmelo Hayes. Hard-fought matchup there. I'm surprised, honestly, Carmelo Hayes is not in that battle royal later on tonight, but you know, it's always nice to give somebody else an opportunity. As well as, like we mentioned, that big-time triple threat World Heavyweight Championship matchup where Drew McIntyre defended his World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns and Dolph Ziggler, and Roman Reigns would walk out World Heavyweight Champion. And the only reason that happened is the enforcer Solo Sikoa putting Dolph Ziggler through multiple tables, not one table, but 2 tables, and then he would go on the offensive against Drew McIntyre. And Roman Reigns would just pick up the scraps, and Roman would walk out with that World Heavyweight Championship. But certainly a shocking way to end SummerSlam was not just that, but also Bray Wyatt introduced us to his family. That is correct. You had the Dead Man, the Undertaker. You had Uncle Howdy. We don't really know too much about this, whole family. There's so much there. And then also you got the Viking Raiders, 2 big dudes that would beat the living crap out of you. And from what I understand, Alexa Bliss is still in the group as well. For the Viking Raiders, Valhalla, she'll be making her presence known with the Viking Raiders as well. So the Viking Raiders, the Undertaker, Uncle Howdy, even Bray Wyatt and his multiple personalities. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least, from SummerSlam to honestly all the way up to Backlash. Like I mentioned, that will be in 4 weeks' time. And I'm being told right now Shawn Michaels is having some time restraints in the terms of showing up. But right now I can't tell you. What we heard is correct. It is a 8-man tag team matchup in your main event tonight, where the winner will pick the stipulation for the World Heavyweight Championship matchup. So it sounds like it's going to be confirmed. For Backlash, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns will be defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Bray Wyatt. And we all know how it happened. What happened last time Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt got in the center of the ring. It was the second night of WrestleMania, where Roman Reigns was the undisputed champion. And we know how that ended. Bray Wyatt would walk out the new Universal Champion, as Carl Anderson with the pinfall attempt. Will this be enough? Ooh, big time breakup there from Giovanni Vinci. Anderson telling Ludwig Kaiser to stay down. But like I said, a massive night, just not just for Raw, but for SmackDown. And if you guys are new, after SummerSlam coming up, like I mentioned, in just 4 weeks' time, we got Backlash, and then the SmackDown side of things as a pinfall attempt, but big LG Luke Gallows is right there to break it up. So after Raw, in 2 weeks after that, so you got 4 weeks from now is Backlash, and then 2 weeks after that, you have the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view of Night of Champions. It's going to be very interesting to see how everything's going to turn out, especially with Halloween Havoc for Monday Night Raw, and then you got ECW One Night Stand, a limited time event, the first time ever that we're seeing a Extreme Rules type of event, kind of reincarnating ECW for one night. And we'll know more about the festivities for SmackDown for that event, obviously, in the weeks to come, when that is further on down the line. But a lot of big things coming on, as Luke Gallows here. Big time flapjack type of maneuver. Takes down Giovanni Vinci. Will the OC get an opportunity to face off against the tag team champions? No. You got two of the best tag teams on Monday Night Raw going up, battling it out, and then also having to, look to get an opportunity to face off with Alpha Academy. Alpha Academy, Otis, Chad Gable walking out with the Raw Tag Team Championships. Big pinfall attempt, and you can't forget about the huge match that AJ Styles had. A first-time ever event here in Universe Mode's history. We saw AJ Styles taking on Kurt Angle, and AJ Styles walked out with the win. And I'm being told tonight we're actually going to be hearing from Kurt Angle later on tonight. And from what I understand, he is going to be calling out AJ Styles, and he's going to be calling him out to the middle of this ring. So it'll be very interesting to see how that is all going to come to a head. As I'll look at this big time fall away slam, taking down Carl Anderson as this match is breaking down, ladies and gentlemen. You can't be surprised, man, with just how combustible this tag team division is. Everything is on the line. These guys want to go down to Puerto Rico for the very first time ever down there for Backlash. Gallows going to get tossed in the ring there by Giovanni Vinci. Vinci realizing he has to hurry up and get back in the ring as well. Be ashamed to have a count-out victory, or I should say just a count-out in general, as Luke Gallows getting tagged in here. But Giovanni Vinci just one step faster. And look, literally faster no matter what, because he's able to, he's at least trying to take on two superstars at once here. And we've seen that before. Big time slam there from Luke Gallows. Is that enough to put him away? No, not just yet. But like I mentioned, big night, especially that big time main event. But a matchup, ladies and gentlemen, I am really looking forward to is the matchup of Seth Rollins, the man that actually defeated Gunther earlier on tonight, taking on Big E of D-Generation X. And you're probably wondering why exactly would I be interested in that matchup? Well, obviously we're going to see how Seth Rollins fares off after a massive win over Gunther, but also how is Big E going to react? We saw Big E and Braun Breaker of D-Generation X lose that 2-on-3 handicap matchup. So we'll see where Big E's mindset is going to be kind of at this particular moment. Certainly picking up a win over Seth Rollins would do great things. Let's look at those big, devastating punches right to that nose, the big nose there of Mr. Ludwig Kaiser. Is this enough? Referee, they will slow with her count, because I think she may have been maybe accidentally hit on one of the times down. I don't quite remember, but nonetheless, the action continues here live on Raw. So, Luke Gallows looking to end this fair and square, going for the choke slam, but a big time arm drag reversal from Ludwig Kaiser. Another opportunity to pick up a win, but Anderson again saving the matchup. Like I mentioned, these guys are going to look to make a name for themselves. Obviously, OC and Imperium have done quite well for the Raw Tag Team division. They want to continue to build their legacy, and now with Alpha Academy now being the Raw Tag Team champions, everything in this tag team division is up in the air right now. Alpha Academy finally winning their first ever Raw Tag Team championships as a team. Obviously, Chad Gable, a multiple tag team champion with American Alpha back in the day with Jason Jordan, but with Alpha Academy, with Otis, is the very first time ever he's holding these championships. So we'll kind of see how this fares with Chad Gable and Otis. And if you guys didn't miss the announcement for that 8-man battle royal later on tonight, that is certainly going to be a big, honestly, big tough test for all those 8 superstars, getting an opportunity of a lifetime, especially with an opportunity at the United States Championship coming up at Backlash. If you're able to win that, big time exploder suplex there from Ludwig Kaiser, but Gallows right there to break it up. So the 8 men that are in that battle royal goes as the following: Ilya Dragunov, JD McDonough, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Logan Paul, Miz, and Tyler Bate. definitely a lot of big-name superstars that are looking to climb the mountain here on Monday Night Raw, either in the tag team division or just in singles action. We've seen Tommaso Ciampa have plenty of singles success there on NXT. SmackDown, I definitely believe he was a huge player there in NXT, former Intercontinental Champion there, but he believes that here on SmackDown, with him reuniting with Gargano, will certainly be a changing of the guard, kind of a refresh for his whole career. We'll see if that's going to go anywhere with Ciampa and Gargano in the near future. And how they've been dealing with Logan Paul and The Miz, I mean, certainly done quite well, as Gallows and Gunther face to face there. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup. It may not be a 5-star matchup or whatever, but just seeing two tall guys that are absolutely strong beating the living crap out of each other, it's something I'd like to see maybe in the near future between those two. But going back to what we are going to see later on tonight, I mean, like, Gargano's going to be in the matchup. Miz and Logan Paul, that's going to be very interesting to see. You even got the rivalry that JD McDonough and Cameron Grimes, where Cameron Grimes is 2-0 against Mr. JD McDonough. And then you got Tyler Bate that, he's trying to solidify himself, get his career going. Hasn't had the best luck as a cutter there from Carl Anderson. Will that be all she wrote? But no, Ludwig Kaiser able to break it up. And going back to that number one Contenders Battle Royal matchup, Ilya Dragunov, the very fiery Russian, ladies and gentlemen. This man, we seen him down there in NXT. Had some good matches there, but now being here on Monday Night Raw, part of that, big time trade and all that other stuff like that, I think Ilya Dragunov certainly will be a huge player, I would say. I think we're going to get a little taste of what's to come in his future. And even if he happens to get eliminated first or whatnot, I think this guy is, a future. And, I said that about Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Tyler Bate as well. I mean, there's so much potential in these superstars that are coming from NXT, and I honestly just can't wait to see what the future holds. And then you got the mainstays of this matchup, the superstars that have been around for a very long time. You got Miz, that has been a veteran in WWE, a man that has been in this business for a very long time, the veteran in this matchup, a man that is taking Logan Paul underneath his wing, and it certainly hasn't done him any favors just yet, but hey, there's a learning curve. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be easy. But how much longer can, Miz and Logan Paul decide to go at it as a tag team? There's so much potential there, I suppose, but when is it going to turn into something? It's an impressive neck breaker there from Anderson. Is that enough to put away Giovanni? Yes, it is. And the OC are going to get an opportunity at those Raw Tag Team Championships. They lost it at SummerSlam, but they're going to get an opportunity at Backlash to win back those Raw Tag Team Championships. This matchup was a hard-fought match from top to bottom, but towards the end, that neck breaker, Giovanni Vinci just taking too much damage, as you can tell, with that blood just dripping down the face. It's a big win there for the OC. We'll see them at Backlash against Alpha Academy. But I'm being told now Kurt Angle is actually going to make his way down the ring. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Styles waiting for the man. And there he is, Kurt Angle. The man that last night ended up losing to AJ Styles fair and square in the middle of that ring. And from what we understand, Kurt Angle wanted to come out here face to face and congratulate AJ Styles on a big win last night. And I mean, thankfully we're going to get Kurt Angle, the man that talks about that integrity, and he's going to come out here and own up to what he did. And at least that's what we can all hope. This is over and done with. We got ourselves a great matchup, but it's over and done with between these two, because Kurt, he certainly didn't need to do what he did in the first place, and he ultimately would end up eating defeat there at SummerSlam. But let's see what's going to go ahead and happen right here between Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. The referee seems like he's not too sure what's about to happen, but we'll see what's about to go down between both of these men. You can feel the intensity is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. You can feel it here tonight in Madison, Wisconsin. Let's see what is on the mind of Kurt Angle. AJ, I wanted to be the first one to come out here and congratulate you. I know it said that I was going to come out here and call you out, and that kind of sounds a little harsh, but I wanted to come out here and congratulate you on a hard-fought win. Me and you tore down the house, and ultimately, you were the better man last night. So congratulations, AJ. But I'm not going to take back what I did to you, AJ. Do I regret it? I'm not going to give you the answer to that. But certainly, I don't regret what I did. I got that different side of AJ Styles that I was trying to provoke, and I got him last night, and you showed me why you are so damn phenomenal. I'm not surprised by you, Kurt, but one thing I'm surprised at is you actually had to have a match with me to believe all the list of accolades I've done here in WWE, from being Mr. Money in the Bank, from being Universal Champion, to WWE Champion, to United States Champion. I have done it all, or most of it, here in WWE. And you are come out here and say I'm not phenomenal? Get the hell out of my face. I did what I set out to do at SummerSlam, and I did that. I did exactly what I wanted by putting you down and putting down a WWE Hall of Famer that doubted me. One of the best in WWE, and not just because I'm not in the World Heavyweight Championship picture right now, and I'm doing my other things right now, and you judge me because of that? Come on, Kurt, you're a Hall of Famer. You would have done the exact same thing. I don't even know why the hell I'm talking to you, Kurt, so we're done here. Now, you ever get in my face again, it'll be the last time you'll be walking out without a broken nose, and maybe I'll give you a broken frickin' neck, Kurt. Just be careful around me, because I'm done with dealing with your crap. Funny thing is, AJ, we're just getting started. I don't know what the hell that meant. And now, Kurt, oh my goodness, Kurt Angle from behind. He's bringing the fight to AJ Styles. I guess this is what he meant. He said that they are not over yet, but now AJ trying to fight back. And now AJ bringing the big fight. Come on, AJ. Take it to Kurt. Oh, look at these kicks. But now Angle. Angle now. Oh, and a big, devastating punch there. Knocking AJ Styles out briefly. AJ trying to stir up to his feet. And now, oh no, the Olympic Slam. We failed to see that last night at SummerSlam. Well, ladies and gentlemen, certainly Kurt Angle was definitely right. It seems like we are not done yet with Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. Kurt Angle being a poor sport about it. And there is your Women's World Champion right there. Bayley did one of the most despicable things you can do, and that being by defeating Bianca Belair. But in the way she did it, in the terms of the rules, it was perfectly legal. But she used Dakota Kai and Io Sky to her advantage in that last woman standing matchup to walk out the new Women's World Champion. What a utter disgrace. The story all came to a head. I mean, we mentioned the story before. It was, Bayley walked out of WrestleMania still the women's champion of that, the Raw Women's Champion at that time. And the next night it would be Charlotte versus Bayley once again in a rematch. But then Bianca Belair would cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase in that matchup and walk out the new Raw Women's Champion. Bianca would go on months and months of not just defeating Charlotte and Bayley, but she'd go through other superstars. But eventually, where you saw Bayley eventually become the Queen Crown winner, the first ever, where that give you a women's championship matchup at SummerSlam, and Well, Bayley got her revenge. She got to even pick the stipulation because Io and Dakota defeated Bianca in a handicap matchup. If Bianca would have won, she would have been able to pick the stipulation. So maybe you could even honestly blame Bianca for not winning. Even though, I hate to blame Bianca for losing the matchup, but I mean, the numbers were not favored her at all in that matchup, but a lot of people would say, hey, just win the matchup then. You're a lot stronger, a lot faster. You're the EST of Monday Night Raw, and you just hate to see it end like that. Her championship reign end from the night after WrestleMania to all the way to SummerSlam. You hate to see it. But we are going to try to set our minds to this women's tag team #1 contenders matchup as Lita and Trish team up once again to take on Damage Control. The winner in the team will go on to face Becky Lynch and Asuka live at the Backlash pay-per-view that is just 4 weeks away. Referee rings the bell. Here we go. Dakota Kai and Trish Stratus starting off here. Big kick here. Oh my goodness, and another one. Dakota Kai coming out here. Team kick right now, just kicking the living crap out of Trish. Ew, and then a brutal forearm. Dakota Kai just so criminally underrated with just how damn good she is. And she literally saved Bayley's behind last night at SummerSlam. I believe Bianca was at a 9 count when Bayley was knocked out still, and then Dakota Kai would come through and attack Bianca Belair, ending the count, and Bayley was able to eventually roll out to where she was up before the 10 count. But it's just one of those things that, you hate to see a long championship reign like that end the way it did. Just so unfortunate for a hard-working woman like Bianca Belair, who was literally having to, she was at the very bottom, just trying to figure herself out, trying to figure out who she was. Then she'd go on to win that Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania, and then also go on to cash it in the night after, or on the night after WrestleMania, which is just crazy in its own right. But Bianca Belair earned it. But you just hate to see how it ended, though, as a suicide dive there from the former SmackDown Women's Champion Io Sky. Io Sky, former Women's Tag Team Champion as well with Dakota Kai. Certainly a dynamic duo. And Bayley picking two of these women that are certainly very devastating, especially with Io Sky's, her ability to fly through the sky. I mean, that's why she's called the genius of the sky, with just how dang good she is. Especially when you get to see that beautiful moonsault that she's able to hit from time to time. And then you got Dakota Kai. Her kicks are just so brutal. She's one of those few superstars that you'd be like, okay, hey, I don't feel like getting in a kicking contest. I don't feel like playing soccer with her. And that's, taking out Trish Stratus. And now Io going to try to even inflict some more damage on Trish. Why not? At least it certainly looked like it, but now, yep, that's Damage Control for you. He's going to play some mind games with you, and now the WWE Hall of Famer tossing her back in, but now here comes Dakota. Matchup is certainly breaking down here. We'll see if the former Raw, or I should say the former Women's Tag Team Champions, Trish and Lita, can get back into this matchup and maybe get an opportunity for a rematch for those Women's Tag Team Championships. I certainly would love to see Trish and Lita take on Becky and Asuka one more time, just to really see who the better team is. Certainly there's a lot of matches over the years. You're like, okay, hey, we've seen this matchup once, but what would happen if we saw it again? There's a lot of matches that you see over the years that, they have trilogies, and the one match will be good, and then it will start to get better every time they go up against each other, and the two superstars will build a chemistry with each other type of thing. And that's very rare nowadays, but there's certain superstars you get to see over the years that have that tremendous chemistry. It's now Dakota Kai looking to regain momentum here, looking to take down Trish. And what would this do for Dakota Kai and Io Sky if they're able to knock off not just the former Women's Tag Team Champions, but also 2 WWE Hall of Famers? That would be absolutely awesome. Big time tag there from Trish to Lita. Let's see if Miss Extreme here can get something going. Maybe a little twist of fate, maybe a swanton bomb if you have to. She misses that clothesline. We'll see if Dakota can capitalize. And ladies and gentlemen, just in mere moments after this very matchup, we are going to be having a 8-man battle royal where the winner will go on to face Austin Theory at Backlash. 8 big-time superstars, anything from superstars that are in current tag teams to, superstars that are looking to make a name for themselves, getting that opportunity live here on Monday Night Raw. You got veterans like Miz, you got Logan Paul, an up-and-coming superstar being taken under the wing of the Miz. As pinfall opportunity here from Lita, but a strong kick out. Ilya Dragunov, a highly underrated superstar so far here in the series. We'll see if it will continue as a twist of fate there from Lita. Is that enough? No, Dakota Kai with a pivotal break up in that account. And Trish talking a little bit of trash to her is, are we going to see that moonsault? Yes, we do, but no. Io Sky able to reverse and took down Lita. Was that the last-ditch effort of Trish and Lita in this women's tag team matchup? Io Sky. This ain't good. Oh, no, this is not good. High risk, high reward. Looking for that Spanish fly, center of the ring. That has to be it. But she's not going to go for the pinfall. Lita with a tremendous reversal, honestly. Just able to kind of dodge that attack that Io was trying to set up there. I don't know what exactly she was trying to set up, but, kind of just able to stop that mid-sequence as a flapjack takedown there of Lita. Look at that tag. Here comes Dakota Kai. Can she put the final touches of this match away? Into the corner we go. Oh, we've seen this before. Here comes Dakota Kai. Big boot to Lita. This match is starting to dwindle down. Oh, come on, Dakota. There's no sense in doing that. Come on. I mean, I know it's legal in the terms of doing it before getting a total of 5 seconds, but there's no need for that. Look at this Lita. She is out of it right now. Just go for the pinfall, Io. This has to be it. If it feels like Damage Control is just trying to manipulate this whole situation, pinfall opportunity, this has to be it. And no, Trish saves the day, but was it worth it though? Was it really worth it? Obviously, they're gonna fight until the bitter end, but it's just one of those things where, you're putting Lita in a more dangerous situation possibly. And now Io gonna look to get a tag possibly. But Lita fighting back and now gonna get hit with a Russian leg sweep. Man, but tonight it's been one hell of a night. We have a massive main event for you tonight, as it's gonna be the Bloodline taking on Bray Wyatt's family tonight in your main event. And I'm being told right now Solo Sikoa is gonna be pulling double duty tonight. As we all know, Solo Sikoa will be taking on Drew McIntyre one-on-one tonight. Solo Sikoa costing Drew McIntyre his World Heavyweight Championship. Not just Drew, but also Dolph Ziggler in that matchup. We'll see how that matchup is going to fare tonight. Drew McIntyre is one pissed-off superstar. We tried to talk to Drew McIntyre today, but he was in his locker room. We knocked and knocked. We tried to get an interview, but no answer. And we heard some stuff slamming in his locker room, but so certainly he is one pissed off Scottish warrior. We're going to see how that's going to fare tonight for Solo Sikoa later on tonight. As Io Sky, the genius of the sky. Is she thinking moonsault? Yes, she is. Right to the lower back. And will that be enough to put away Lita tonight? No, it will not, at least not at this moment, because Trish saves the day. And now Damage Control are going to just inflict some more damage on the WWE Hall of Famer. Why not? I thought maybe for a minute Lita, or I should say Io Sky, was just going to try to do one of those things that we've seen in the early 2000s that Chris Jericho would do when he flexed and would have a boot on the stomach of his superstar and be considered his pinfall, which is how cocky he was. But now this is just Dakota Kai and Io Sky just playing around, playing with their meat right now. It's like shark in the water right now. Lita just trying to survive right now, but the numbers game is coming to a head. Dakota Kai off the rope. Oh, the chiropractor, pardon me. Apparently I can't save it, but Trish saves the day from the chiropractor. Dakota Kai is certainly not too happy about that as Dakota Kai continues to take her time, and now she's going to let Io Sky get the final touches in this matchup here. And now Io. Oh, I think Trish blocked it with her forearm briefly, I think. As now Io Sky, big time power slam. A much needed power slam there from Damage Control. It's just continue to dominate this matchup. Oh, here we go, Lita, former women's tag team champion, not going to back down at this moment. Going to bring the fight to Io finally. Could this be the moment that Trish and Lita desperately need in this matchup? Off the ropes we go into a double back body drop, takes down Io. But look at Io doing the right thing, rolling out. And, oh, wait a minute, Trish is not going to let her breathe too long because Trish, oh my goodness, Io Sky catching Trish and hits her with a brutal power slam. Io Sky is not playing around, and now neither is Trish. Trish all fired up here, coming after Io Sky. And oh, look at this. Look at this head scissors takedown there of Io. And now Trish has her sights on Dakota Kai. If I'm Dakota, you might want to get the hell out of there as she gets hit with a stunner right on that apron. And now everything is breaking down for Damage Control. Trish could be moments away. Maybe she could put away Io Sky. This would be the opportunity to do it because Dakota Kai is down and out. This is the moment. Trish pinfall. Is this enough? No, it is not. Still plenty of fight in Io Sky. I mean, they haven't necessarily taken too much damage as the Trish kick right to the dome there, taking down Io Sky. And now, what is Trish thinking? Uh-oh. Maybe thinking about some Stratisfaction guaranteed. Beautiful maneuver there from Trish. And will that be enough to put away Io Sky? 2. Oh, Dakota Kai able to save the day for Damage Control. But for how much longer? Trish trying to get this fired up crowd here in Madison, Wisconsin. Get them all fired up and get them behind her here. It's another beautiful head scissors takedown there, taking down Io Sky. This matchup has been turned on its head. I mean, most of this matchup has been dominated from Damage Control, but Trish and Lita showing you guys why they are WWE Hall of Famers for a reason. They're able to change up the momentum there. It's a brutal power bomb there from Lita. Uh-oh, Lita. Is she thinking Swanton possibly? She's taking her time. She's trying to decide what she's doing. And now, oh my goodness, impressive leg drop there. Her back, maybe it's hurting too long. Maybe she doesn't want to do it this late in the matchup. I don't know. Maybe too much damage is done to her. You just don't know in these situations. But it's a pure adrenaline at this moment here from both of these teams. Look at that snap suplex there from Io. Is that enough? 2. No, Trish is able to kick out. Sometimes those suplexes can get you, ladies and gentlemen. as this matchup continues to get better and better as we go, digging down deep. It is all to become the #1 contender and go on to Backlash to face Trish Stratus, or to face Becky Lynch and Asuka for those women's tag team championships. Asuka officially a 2-belt Asuka, as we saw there at SummerSlam, not only winning the women's tag team championships, but also knocking off Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley getting very cocky towards the end of that matchup. She would hit the Asuka lock on Asuka, but ultimately it was too much, as another Spanish fly from Io Sky to Trish. Is that enough? But again, Io Sky not going to go for the pinfall. Will she rule the day that she decided not to? Here we go with another tag. Let's see what these women want to start up here. Brutal knees. Going to work together for a double suplex. Takes down Trish. And now Dakota Kai takes out Lita. This matchup is breaking down very, very much for Trish and Lita right now. It's very brutal. And I don't know how much more Trish and Lita can take right now. And I mean, I guess you could say the same for Dakota Kai and Io Sky, but, you know, it's just one of those matches where how much can you really take to make it worth it? Because are you going to even make it to the pay-per-view in 4 weeks' time if you continue to just eat so much damage as another chiropractor, this time again to Trish Stratus? Is this enough? It is. No. Lita at 2.9 saves the day for Trish. How in the hell did she do it? Absolutely crazy. And now Trish, from right behind the quad area. That is not going to be feeling too good. Swinging neck breaker there. As we back and forth we go here. Dakota Kai, Trish Stratus face to face now. And again now, Trish just trying to take as much as she can. And she's going to connect with a bulldog. It's one of the pretty good women's tag team matches we've seen in a very long time, especially between both of these tag teams. Too bad we didn't get to see this type of matchup at the SummerSlam between the team of Trish and Lita and Becky and Asuka. It was still a hard-fought matchup, but seeing these women go at it, it's a whole different ball game. Wait a minute, roll through. Is she gonna steal it? Is she gonna steal it? 2, 3, she stole it. Dakota Kai stole it. Thanking to the thanks to Bayley right there. Hopefully we get to see that, but got the trunks or the tights or whatever part of Trish Stratus's attire enough to steal the victory. Holy cow. And that means Io Sky, Dakota Kai will be getting a women's tag team opportunity at the Backlash pay-per-view right here. Just holding her up right now. Just holding up her attire right there. And she steals one to end the matchup. Big win for Io and Dakota Kai, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to see how these women fare coming up at Backlash. This is a monumental moment for Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Massive win over the WWE Hall of Fame. Alright, who is going to become the new #1 contender? Who's going to go on to Backlash down there in Puerto Rico against Austin Theory? All day Austin Theory. Will it be Mr. British Strong Style himself, Tyler Bate? Now, this man hasn't had the perfect of accolades, win-loss record in WWE, especially down there in NXT. But certainly being here on Raw will certainly, give him that opportunity. Maybe, I guess we say fresh start a lot of times, but, an opportunity nonetheless for Tyler Bate to really show us what he brings to the table. This man is criminally underrated. Not too many opportunities here, but tonight in this Battle Royal is going to show us what he can bring to the table. He is a 2-time United Kingdom champion, ladies and gentlemen. He has fought off with the best of the best. At one time, even teamed with Pete Dunne and Trent Seven, part of British Strong Style, but Pete Dunne broke that up at one time. So, for Tyler Bate, ever since then, he's really been trying to figure himself out and, tonight here on Monday Night Raw may be that opportunity for him to break out, be a breakout superstar here in WWE, especially on Monday Night Raw. There's so many talented Raw superstars, and a lot of it is younger guys. There's some veterans, surely, on the Monday Night Raw roster, but you love to see the young talent that you see. As there is Tommaso Ciampa, ladies and gentlemen, former Intercontinental Champion, former NXT Champion. Tommaso Ciampa is here, and he is looking to bring the fight. He's going to show you that DIY wrestling style. And certainly with Tommaso Ciampa having his good friend, his best friend, Johnny Gargano by his side, back as part of DIY, it's awesome. But for tonight, they know it's all survival of the fittest. Let the best man win. Because certainly this is going to be a hard-hitting match. It's one of those ones where you kind of got to just figure out what you got to do. Hide in the matchup, kind of hide underneath the rope for the longest time. Or even hide, outside the ring, obviously going through the middle rope or bottom rope. Obviously, if you go over the top, that won't favor. But here comes Cameron Grimes, a man that's gotten 2 wins over JD McDonough. And certainly, we haven't really been told too much from JD McDonough. Yes, he said that Cameron Grimes was on top of his list and everything else like that, but it certainly has not gone in the way of JD McDonough. Cameron Grimes getting an opportunity. And for this matchup, you're thinking, well, how the hell does JD McDonough get an opportunity in this matchup? Well, you got to think Shawn Michaels believes this matchup. If you kind of see the superstars in this matchup, you see a lot of people that have kind of intertwined with each other. Miz, Miz, Logan Paul, DIY, and then you got some superstars like Cameron Grimes, JD McDonough, and then also you got Ilya Dragunov, Tyler Bate. There's a little bit of everything in this matchup. You got young, old veterans, younger guys. There's a little bit of everything. And I kind of love what Shawn Michaels is doing here. Give him an opportunity, especially these younger guys. And look at this man right here, Ilya Dragunov, ladies and gentlemen. One of the strongest, one of the most deadliest superstars when it comes to being in the middle of that damn ring. He is so damn good, and still a young man, a absolutely brutal superstar in the middle of that ring. Ilya Dragunov, a dangerous Russian superstar. And he very well could be the man that goes on to the pay-per-view of Backlash and being able to walk out as new United States champion. But first off, he's going to have to go through 7 other superstars tonight in this battle royal to even get that opportunity. Now, there's a lot of superstars in this matchup that I believe certainly could beat Austin Theory. But when you think about that, you just don't know if Bronson Reed and Grayson Waller will be at ringside in those matches. Because if you have Grayson or even Bronson, or even both, I guess you could say, then obviously the numbers game, and it's just one of those things where you gotta focus on your opponents, but it's gonna be quite hard when you have a big man like Bronson Reed and Grayson Waller. Just look at that smirk there, Ilya Dragunov thinking he's very, very confident. We've seen him there in NXT at one time. He was there with CM Punk and Karrion Kross. They had their own little, grouping at that time. Ultimately didn't really work out in Ilya Dragunov's favor as CM Punk turned his back on him. But it's always a fresh start here on Raw. And now JD McDonough making his way in. Hey, despite losing to Cameron Grimes twice, maybe a win tonight in this Battle Royal will change the trajectory of his career, as he is a former champion there in NXT and now would love to add a championship to his championship case. Obviously, NXT is a whole different ballgame, but then being on the main roster, it's so much different. Yes, it's the bigger crowds, the massive numbers, the t-shirt sales and everything, but there's one of those things is you can't let the pressure, build up and, ultimately implode. And for JD McDonough so far, when he's facing off with Cameron Grimes, it is certainly not going in his favor. So for JD McDonough, I would just say for right now, I think it's time for JD to
move on. Figure out something else. Go after a different superstar. Or maybe just mind your own damn business and go after, pick up win after win. Maybe don't sneak attack people. I don't know. Just do something else, I guess. But, JD McDonough's going to do what he believes is best, and if that's what he thinks is best, then I guess that's what it's going to be. As there is Johnny Gargano making his way down to the ring. This man is a former NXT champion, former WWE champion, won it in an Elimination Chamber matchup last year at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Ultimately would go on to lose his WWE championship to Adam Cole there at WrestleMania, which is very unfortunate for Johnny Gargano, but, something that, for him, it definitely sucked, but I think for him being able to get his best friend back and for them to say, hey, let's let bygones be bygones, let's have a fresh, I do, like I said, a fresh start a lot, but let's bygones be bygones, let's start over. And, they were best friends at each other's weddings and everything, so they know each other quite well. As we wait for our next superstar to make his way down in the ring, the social media megastar Logan Paul. Now, how interesting would this matchup be at Backlash if we saw a matchup between Logan Paul and Austin Theory? You got a man that's cocky, confident in himself, Austin Theory, and then you get a man that Logan Paul who just oozes confidence while it's on social media. If it's in the middle of that ring, no matter what, he brings his A game, and certainly with Logan Paul having Miz by his side, or kind of showing him the ropes of WWE. Logan Paul, his mission statement when he came into WWE, he said, I'm going to start from the bottom, and I'm going to bring myself all the way to the top. And that's when Miz would come out and say, hey, I'm going to bring you the promised land if you just let me. And while certainly we have not seen it just yet, but hey, I feel like I'm saying this quite a bit, it feels like, but hey, time's going to tell. There's plenty of time, and maybe something's going to be possible. Hasn't worked so far when they faced off with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, but hey, I digress. And talking about The Miz, here comes the awesome one. The Miz making his way down to the ring, a former European champion, former Intercontinental champion. This man would love to add that United States Championship to his championship repertoire. But will The Miz be able to knock off 7 other superstars in this matchup? I would say Miz is the most veteran superstar in this matchup. I mean, you certainly got Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano that have been here for a very long time as well. But for Miz, he was here in WWE way before Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano got up to the main roster. So for Miz, he has certainly had his ups and downs, but he has been champion, and when they get that spotlight, everyone's speculating to really take that spotlight that Logan Paul brings to WWE and get himself back into the limelight even more. But we'll see how this goes. It is a 8-man battle royal to determine who is going on to face Austin Theory. I find it very interesting. Miz took out Logan Paul first with that brutal knee strike, but I guess I will digress here. But a lot of future in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, and I cannot wait to see how this matchup pans out. Oh my goodness, Cameron Grimes with a brutal powerbomb there. Miz going to attack that lower back of Cameron Grimes little by little. And wait a minute, Grimes could be the very first one eliminated here. Here comes Miz, but no, Grimes with a well-timed reversal, but no, he sure as hell didn't reverse that, as Cameron Grimes will be taking himself straight to the locker room, as he is the first one to be eliminated, which sucks to see. JD McDonough certainly will not be the first one eliminated tonight. We'll see if he's actually going to be able to last tonight, as Logan Paul takes down Gargano. You got Tyler Bate and Tommaso Ciampa over there. You had Logan Paul just take out The Miz. Very interesting to see is now continuously just a lot of back and forth action, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you guys believe is the better matchup here for Austin Theory? I mean, there's just so much potential with all these superstars. You have the cocky confidence, the oozingness of Austin Theory matching up with Miz. Imagine that matchup. Or like we mentioned, Logan Paul. Or, hey, imagine Tommaso Ciampa picking up hard-fought win over Austin Theory. That'd be a great matchup. Or even, hey, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. That would be a perfect matchup in just in the terms because there is history there, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Theory, former member of The Way before he turned his back on Johnny Gargano. And obviously those two haven't really intertwined since then. But imagine it. It comes full circle. There's potential there. This is a backstabber there to JD McDonough. Big takedown there. Gargano and Ilya Dragunov now. Uh-oh. Ooh, missile drop kick to the back of the neck. That is not going to be feeling good. And now Gargano looking to eliminate Tyler Bate. Will he be the next one eliminated as Tommaso Ciampa laying out everybody here? That's just how damn good Tommaso Ciampa is, ladies and gentlemen. As now, time for a fairy tale ending. JD McDonough. Reversal. JD McDonough able to counteract Tommaso Ciampa as McDonough saving the day for Miz momentarily. Ooh, and a big time suplex. As we continue to go down here, we're going to see the Miz kicks here to Mr. JD McDonough. Bate and Logan Paul are going to go at it here as well. Oh, now we got the partners. You got Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. We knew the partnerships in these matches, they don't last long, but I believe this is the first time these guys have gone at it in this matchup so far. Is Tommaso Ciampa going to eliminate his best friend Johnny Gargano here? And oh, wait, Miz. Oh, I was going to say Miz. Imagine if he threw Logan Paul over the top rope. And Logan, oh my goodness, I should say Tyler Bate there able to take out Tommaso. So much potential. Oh my God. You guys can hear that from the cheap seats, ladies and gentlemen. That clothesline was like a clothesline from hell that you would see from JBL. Absolutely brutal. Still no more eliminations just yet here. I think Ilya Dragunov was trying to, I don't know if he was trying to get the crowd behind him, or if he was trying to set up something, but nothing worked out there. As McDonough, the beautiful powerbomb there to Tyler Bate. And now, big time suplex. Oh, yep, we know what's about to happen now. Logan Paul gonna go with the trifecta of suplexes and gonna make it look the best that he can, I guess. With obviously with the late great Eddie Guerrero doing it a lot better. And now Logan Paul. Oh, come on, don't eliminate Tommaso. Imagine the heat this man is gonna get if he's able to eliminate Tommaso Ciampa here. As now Miz attacking Logan Paul now. Every time I see a superstar going after their partner, it just makes it more and more interesting. As now Gargano trying to fight back, but eating a rebound clothesline there. And now again, JD McDonough working on Tommaso Ciampa. Can he toss him over the top? Like I said, no more eliminations besides Cameron Grimes just yet. All these superstars are laying the smackdown on each other so far. It's been absolutely brutal as JD McDonough getting his knee taken out there briefly. Johnny Gargano taking some time here just to recuperate. So is McDonough. Tyler Bate doing some spinning to Logan Paul. If I'm these superstars, I may want to be walking away from those superstars, because certainly if Tyler Bate or Logan Paul puke, I do not want to be in range of that. As JD McDonough going to try to eliminate Tyler Bate, but Tyler Bate stays in the matchup. Miz from behind. Going to go for the skull-crushing finale, but a stunner. And I think JD McDonough just eliminated by Ilya Dragunov and Tommaso Ciampa, eliminated by Logan Paul. And now the eliminations are coming fast and furious right now. Logan Paul taking down Ilya Dragunov. And now, oh my goodness, look at the stretch by Gargano. Miz's neck should not be torqued like that, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely brutal here. And no, Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov about to eliminate Tyler Bate, I think. Oh, Bate stays in it. A little bit longer at least. Uh-oh. Skull-crushing finale to Johnny Gargano. Like I mentioned, we are down to 5. Miz, Logan Paul, Ilya Dragunov, Tyler Bate, and Johnny Gargano. A star-studded affair in this matchup as Logan Paul and Miz continue to go at it. Miz kind of being very cautious here. And Miz, is he going to eliminate his tag team partner? He may very well do it. Logan Paul's trying to stay. Is Miz going to do it? It's all about the Miz. And Miz, yes, he eliminates his tag team partner, Logan Paul. But now, Tyler Bate might eliminate Miz. But now Gargano is essentially saving the day for Miz, keeping him in the matchup. If I'm Gargano, why in the hell would you do that? Tyler Bate was probably seconds away from eliminating Miz, but Miz stays in the matchup, and Gargano ends up getting eliminated. How crazy is that, ladies and gentlemen? This matchup is breaking down, and now a sleeper hold to Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate is in trouble. You got Miz, Tyler Bate, and Ilya Dragunov. Who is it going to come down to? If Tyler Bate passes out, this is going to be an easy elimination for either Miz or Ilya Dragunov. And might as well go after Tyler Bate. This man basically got put to sleep. But now, Ilya Dragunov, he's fired up, man. This is not what you want. It's a big clothesline from Miz. Ilya Dragunov can dish out the punishment as well as take a bunch as well. This matchup is getting absolutely brutal. So many different ways. There's a Russian leg sweep to the Russian Ilya Dragunov. And now Miz going to toss Tyler Bate into the corner. Uh-oh. Perfect time for Miz. Miz, is he going to eliminate Tyler Bate? Is he going to make it a one-on-one situation? Can he flip him? He has him so close in the corner. He's trying. He flips him. Can he do it? Yes, he does. And now you're down to Ilya and Miz. Ilya hitting the kill shot, headshot, takes him down. He gets to 150 points. And now Ilya Dragunov. Is he going to Backlash? Is he going to Backlash? Ilya Dragunov. So damn close to eliminating the A-lister. Miz, is he going to get eliminated? Yes, he does. Ilya Dragunov is officially going to Backlash. What a battle royal, ladies and gentlemen. All 8 men putting on a clinic. Eventually, it comes down to Ilya Dragunov and the Miz. And Ilya Dragunov, after a brutal headbutt, eventually puts away the Miz. Look at this. Just this big boot to the midsection. Just too much damage. And Miz has to let go. And look at the blood just dripping down the face. Blood, sweat, and tears. But now we have another official matchup for Backlash. Ilya Dragunov and Austin Theory for the U.S. Championship. Very chaotic episode so far. I do want to address Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt's situation from earlier on tonight. From what Bray Wyatt and even Paul Heyman said in Roman Reigns' RV bus, it is true. It is a family versus family matchup tonight in your main event, where Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa will take on 4 members of the Wyatt family. At this exact time, I don't know for sure who from the Wyatt family will be participating in that matchup, but we will for sure know in your main event. Also, the winner of this matchup will be able to pick their stipulation for Backlash, because we are confirming it. You heard it earlier tonight on the broadcast. Roman Reigns will defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Bray Wyatt in 4 weeks' time there in Puerto Rico. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is a one-on-one contest where Solo Sikoa will take on a former World Heavyweight Champion, that being Drew McIntyre. And it should be a hell of a contest. You got a pissed off Drew McIntyre looking for revenge, looking to take out Solo Sikoa. Drew, good luck tonight, because you are definitely going to need it.
very curious to see how that main event is going to be unfolding later on tonight. But we get to some hard-hitting action, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Solo Sikoa, the enforcer of the bloodline. This man made a brutal statement there. Not only did the bloodline defeat D-Generation X, but Solo Sikoa helped Roman Reigns walk out with that World Heavyweight Championship. That is definitely a man that you do not want to mess with. Massive wins in his young career, helping his tribal chief walk out with his second ever World Championship reign. We'll see how long Roman's going to be able to hold on to it now. And, what's the future going to hold for, the bloodline, especially, they get a tag team title shot here whenever they feel up to it type of thing, whenever they want to set that up. And then also, for Drew McIntyre, what's next for him? He's not having a world title shot at this very moment right now, but he's a pissed off Scottish warrior. He has to deal with Solo Sikoa. So this is going to be breaking down very, very quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised if Drew McIntyre pulled out that sword and started swinging at the entire bloodline tonight. It was a hard-hitting matchup there at SummerSlam between Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, and Roman Reigns. But like we said, Solo Sikoa coming in clutch for Roman Reigns, taking out Dolph first by putting him through 2 announce tables, and then would set his sights on Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre it just was too much damage. And he fought back against Roman a little bit, but Roman would ultimately lay waste to Drew McIntyre and become a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. And you just look through the eyes of Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. You could just feel the intensity, the absolute anger just brewing through him at this very moment. This matchup very well could be the match of the night. There's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears going in this matchup, and I guarantee you Drew McIntyre is not going to be 100% walking out of this matchup, and neither will Solo Sikoa. And for the bloodline, there in the main event later on tonight is a 4-on-4 family versus family matchup, but we are focused on these 2 big men. As the referee rings the bell, here we go. Let's see how much damage McIntyre can take in this matchup. And we know Drew McIntyre, he's a man that's going to battle until the very end, but if this matchup becomes very short, I wouldn't be surprised with just the amount of damage that has been done to Drew McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. And you just hate to see it. As, look at Solo Sikoa. He's just explosiveness with the moves, and that very well could be enough. Pinfall, referee right in position, making sure the shoulders are down, but a strong kick out. And I guarantee for Solo Sikoa, there's going to be a lot of short pinfalls in this matchup, honestly, that I believe, because just the amount of damage that Solo has done to McIntyre last night. Let's look at Solo again. Those brutal knee strikes right to the ribs, the targeted ribs of last night's attack. As Solo, it stunned Drew McIntyre, not enough to really get anything at that moment. But now Drew is going to look to capitalize, and oh my goodness, turning him inside out on that turnbuckle. And now just stomping a mud hole right in the midsection there of Solo Sikoa. That's all that he can do at this moment. Like I said, we know this is going to be a hard-hitting matchup, and like I mentioned before this matchup started, is where does Drew McIntyre go from here? As of right now, he's not going to be challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship, but what is next for the Scottish Warrior? Certainly, it's dealing with Solo Sikoa tonight, and getting some redemption after that brutal, heinous assault from Solo Sikoa. But besides that, despite the outcome of this matchup, what is next for Drew McIntyre? Has a big diving headbutt right there to the head of McIntyre. McIntyre is in trouble right now. Solo Sikoa on the attack right now. Gonna go for the pinfall. McIntyre, this could honestly be it, but no. McIntyre with a strong kick out. And every time I say that, like I said, with the assault, everything happened is big time Samoan drop. Did you see the absolute height on that? McIntyre dodging out of the way briefly. Let's see if he can capitalize. Oh, look at this. Transitioning into a suplex. Man, look at this. The strength, the power of a man that is not 100%. That is absolutely a thing of beauty from the former World Heavyweight Champion. And imagine, is Drew McIntyre going to be able to hit a Claymore on Solo? Solo gets hit with the... Wait a minute now. McIntyre seeing Dolph Ziggler, one of the competitors of that World Heavyweight Championship matchup. Seems like he has a few words to say for the Scottish Warrior. And if you guys can remember, these two superstars were once tag team partners before Dolph would turn his back on him. Now Dolph going to try to distract Drew McIntyre before this match continues here. And now, wait a minute, Solo Sikoa with a big clothesline taking down McIntyre. And now Solo Sikoa maybe looking to put the final pieces of this match away. Drew trying to get up to his feet. Oh, no, 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 no. Samoan spike. Samoan spike there from Solo Sikoa. But it seems like we may not be done from there. Solo. Oh, my goodness, man. This guy is one-of-a-kind superstar, and certainly going to help his tribal chief no matter what he has to do here. And a big old Samoan drop just for good measures. And this is an absolute brutal beating right now. And Solo, no, come on, Solo. Sending a message not only to Drew McIntyre, but to the whole Wyatt family as well. Certainly, that has to be it. Pinfall. Is this enough? Yes, it is. Solo Sikoa has defeated Drew McIntyre. A massive win for Solo Sikoa tonight. And you gotta give the help to Dolph Ziggler. Man coming out here distracting Drew McIntyre briefly. And Solo Sikoa, the enforcer of the bloodline, picks up a massive win tonight over Drew McIntyre. What a matchup for Solo as he continues to break out and show what he brings to the bloodline. McIntyre, at one time he was up to his knees, but now Dolph Ziggler coming out through the crowd, came through the ramp last time to distract Drew McIntyre, and now Ziggler gonna just lay the finishing pieces on Drew McIntyre. From being World Heavyweight Champion to being screwed out of his World Heavyweight Championship matchup. And now Ziggler going to decimate Drew McIntyre after a brutal loss. What a absolute brutal beating we are witnessing live here on Monday Night Raw. Absolutely heinous assault here from the show-off, the leader of D-Generation X. As a brutal stunning drop kick there from Mr. Dolph Ziggler. So again, no, this is not going to be good. What is McIntyre having, or I should say, what is Ziggler thinking about doing here? Oh my goodness, what a brutal maneuver, just tossing him in there now. Oh no, referee, I think the referee's trying to decide what he wants to do. Ziggler tuning up the band. McIntyre, don't turn around, because he's about to eat some sweet chin music from Dolph Ziggler. McIntyre taken out, and it seems like Ziggler and McIntyre, old friends, bitter rivals, once again coming to a head. We sure got a lot of things coming our way for the road to Backlash starting on tonight. A lot of #1 contenders matches we've seen tonight, as here comes the WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam here tonight in Madison, Wisconsin. Always good to see RVD. He is in a non-title matchup as he's taking on Bronson Reed, your still United Kingdom champion. But like we saw earlier on tonight, the OC was able to outlast Imperium. So coming up at the Backlash pay-per-view, Alpha Academy takes on the OC. That is going to be one hell of a matchup, a great tag team matchup there as well, as Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt is confirmed for Backlash. But and also, major stipulation coming the way of Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt, depending on who walks out with the win tonight, either the Bloodline or the Wyatt family. Also, Austin Theory. His challenger was determined in a battle royal earlier on tonight as Ilya Dragunov, a young and up-and-coming superstar, man that was in NXT for the longest time, here on Monday Night Raw now. This man is going to be facing off with Austin Theory live at Backlash for that United States Championship. I cannot wait to see where Ilya Dragunov and Austin Theory, where the build will go from here all the way up to Backlash. My question is, who is going to step up to the plate and challenge for that United Kingdom Championship at Backlash? We got 4 weeks, we got plenty of time to figure it out, but who's going to be that man to step up and say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to make it as easy as what it was there at SummerSlam where Bronson Reed ran through Santos Escobar. Now, give it some thought here. You know, Santos Escobar has defeated Bronson Reed once before. Bronson Reed came out there saying, hey, you know what, that was a fluke victory. I'm going to show you how it should have went. And he came out there with balls of fire, coming out there just pissed off big man, coming out there, especially that suicide dive through the rope, ultimately leading to a tsunami. As the referee rings the bell, and you know, for this matchup right now, if the Hall of Famer RVD can pick up a win over Bronson Reed tonight, maybe, you know, he can get himself in title contention. I'm sure there's a lot more superstars in the back that would love an opportunity to showcase what they got, especially taking on a man like Bronson Reed, who's, you know, his stardom has just been blossoming over these last couple months, ever since he's been with Austin Theory. That partnership has worked quite well, and then recently, over the past month, they have gotten Grayson Waller. The Austin Theory and Bronson Reed see Grayson Waller as a pivotal partner in this partnership that Theory and Bronson Reed have. We'll see where it honestly is going to go. I mean, you know, Grayson Waller is a man that has so much damn potential, and you know, we've seen some of him here in NXT. Now on Monday Night Raw, we'll see what he's going to be able to bring to the table. Man, I cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Is Bronson Reed going to work on that? Ooh, that right arm right there. That is not going to be feeling too good. Right over by the armpit, and maybe Bronson Reed has it looks like he has a strategy. He's coming right after that. Maybe he's going to set up a submission hold, possibly, to maybe put down RVD later on in the matchup. Bronson Reed's not really known for submissions as far as I'm aware, so, I mean, anything is possible, but, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Bronson Reed has him up. Down goes Rob Van Dam. Is that enough to put away Rob Van Dam? No, it is not. And Bronson Reed, the frustration, he believed that was going to be it, but right now, he's looking to put the cherry on top of the sundae. Tsunami to the Hall of Famer. That has to be it. Pinfall. Is it enough, though? Yes, it is. Bronson Reed with a massive win over the WWE Hall of Famer, and Bronson Reed continues to be impressive, and whoever decides to step up to the plate and face Bronson Reed, you got to make sure you're bringing your A game, because this man is on a whole different level. That's why he's your United Kingdom champion, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute force to begin with. It's a colossal of a man, and he continues to dominate here on Monday Night Raw. And now we have our double main event of the evening. We got Big E, one of the members of D-Generation X. He'll be taking on Seth frickin' Rollins, part of this double main event. Your other main event is Family versus Family, with the Bloodline taking on the Wyatt Family. And for Big E, you know, he's probably a little bit frustrated after losing that 2-on-3 handicap matchup, but, you know, time to move on from that in the Bloodline, maybe. At least move on from the Bloodline, or maybe continue that. I don't know what the overall thought process is of D-Generation X, of Dolph Ziggler, Big E, and Braun Breaker. Certainly, it looks like Dolph Ziggler is going to be going after Drew McIntyre after what we saw earlier on tonight. We'll see how that's going to fare. McIntyre is certainly in a bad situation especially after last night, and then just a brutal beating after losing to Solo Sikoa. Dolph Ziggler would come out again and just brutalize him and hit him with a couple super kicks. It's just absolutely brutal, but we'll move on to this double main event. Big E looking to move on and get himself a big-time win here live tonight on Monday Night Raw. But he's going to have to do it against the former WWE champion, that being Seth frickin' Rollins. And also, a lot of question is, what is next for Seth Rollins? Is Seth Rollins ready to move on? Is he over and done with Gunther? It was a hard-hitting tables matchup. We addressed it there in the Imperium versus OC #1 Contenders matchup when Gunther was there at ringside with Imperium. It was a hard-hitting tables matchup, not your typical tables matchup and everything like that, but it does seem like it may be over and done with, and Seth Rollins certainly would love to get himself in title contention. There's just so many main event caliber superstars on this roster, and it's one of those things that there's only room for a certain amount of superstars in that spot, and certainly Rollins believes that he certainly is in the right spot for that World Heavyweight Championship. And with this being a hard-hitting matchup, you got Rollins, former United States champion, former WWE champion, former tag team champion there on SmackDown, and then also you got Big E, former Intercontinental champion, one of the longest reigning Intercontinental champions in the history here of the series. So we'll see how this main matchup goes here tonight. Referee rings the bell. Here we go. Seth Rollins, Big E. We are in Madison, Wisconsin. It's going to be a sold-out crowd right now. Absolutely loving this action. It's been a cluster of just ups and downs for certain superstars tonight, and especially, like we mentioned, it's the night of #1 contenders for the most part. You got Bronson Reed picking up another win. He just continues to rack up wins. And like I mentioned, whoever steps up to plate for Bronson Reed, you're gonna, like I mentioned before we got to this matchup, you're gonna have to bring your A game. You're literally gonna need a tank to try and defeat that man, because he's operating at a whole different level. As look at that, Rollins just eye raking him right to the face. And Rollins talking some trash to Big E, saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna allow all this DX stuff to you." As look at these big punches right to the ribs, man. You could just see the velocity on how he was just bringing it back so far back and forth to his ribs there. And certainly for Big E, ever since he turned his back on Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, he's operating on a whole different level as well. And ever since then, we really haven't seen the New Day. They've been doing some stuff behind the scenes, but they haven't been really featured here on Monday Night Raw. I think they're just trying to get themselves situated here and kind of figure out what is next for the New Day, what is next for Kofi and Xavier. And, maybe we'll see them eventually here on Monday Night Raw as Big E talking some trash, telling Seth Rollins to stay outside and just stay down. Rollins, he's the architect, the visionary. Seth frickin' Rollins is not gonna be staying down. He's gonna fight and fight and fight. He's gonna continue to fight until there is nothing left. But he's taking way too much time in the corner here, and now Big E gonna look to capitalize. Oh, this ain't good. Oh my goodness. Just hitting him with a splash into the corner, and Big E gonna look to continue to capitalize with that release back suplex. Absolutely brutal. Pinfall attempt. Will this be enough? No. Strong kick out. Big E showing a lot of good fight here. Oh, look at that sling blade turning Big E inside out. Back and forth we go. Rollins starting to heat up here. This is not what Big E wants right now. Does not want a fired up Seth Rollins. I mean, he could walk out with a win and just continue to rack up wins and get himself in title contention. Certainly Seth is certainly ready to move on from Gunther, and certainly ready to, figure out what is next for him. As Seth Rollins looking for the pedigree there to Big E, and how fitting is that? Pinfall though, too strong kick out though. Triple H, the WWE chairman now since Mr. McMahon had to retire. Obviously, one of the members of D-Generation X, Shawn Michaels, is as well. Obviously, the new start of D-Generation X as Rollins curb stomp turning Big E inside out. Will this be enough? Yes, it is. Seth Rollins bringing the big fight tonight to Big E, and Seth Rollins defeats Big E, maybe sending a little message there to Triple H as well with that pedigree. But look at that, curb stomping Big E into that lovely mat of ours, and Seth frickin' Rollins has done it. Back-to-back wins last night, and now tonight. What is the vision for Mr. Seth frickin' Rollins, the visionary, the man that is looking to take over Monday Night Raw? What is next for Seth frickin' Rollins? And wait a minute, that's Gunther. You gotta be kidding me. Gunther coming out here, and oh my goodness, chopping the living hell out of the chest of Seth frickin' Rollins. We thought we were over and done with. Rollins certainly believed it as well, but now Rollins just being decimated by the Ring General, and now, no, Rollins getting powerbombed. Gunther has been awoken, and it seems like we are far from being done with this Gunther and Seth Rollins type of situation here. As look at that exploder suplex. Rollins trying to roll out the way, but I don't think it's going to really honestly work out in his favor here. As he's getting bounced off the table and folding Rollins again in half. I think the people up in the cheap seats could hear that. There's welts forming on the chest there of Seth frickin' Rollins, ladies and gentlemen. An absolute brutal, heinous assault there from Gunther. Oh my, oh, no, come on, Gunther. You've sent your message. We understand that you're pissed off, but there's different ways of handling your anger. He's certainly not too happy that Imperium were not able to get the tag team championships last night, failed to win the #1 contenders matchup tonight, and now Gunther gonna have to do all the damage tonight to Seth frickin' Rollins. Gunther lays out Rollins, and it looks like this is gonna continue way past tonight. It is main event time here live in Madison, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen. We have a major stipulation for this matchup. It is family versus family, bloodline versus the Wyatt family. And in this matchup, the winning team will be able to pick the stipulation for that World Heavyweight Championship matchup coming in just 4 weeks' time. It is Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. So if Roman's team wins, Roman gets to pick the stipulation. If Bray's family wins, Bray Wyatt gets to pick the stipulation. And from what we understand, from what Shawn Michaels has announced, Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Solo Sikoa will be represented in this matchup. We for sure don't know who exactly is going to be a part of the Wyatt family tonight. I mean, they certainly have a numbers game for sure that they can throw out there, from the Viking Raiders, Undertaker, Uncle Howdy if they really wanted to, Bray Wyatt as well. You know, there's certainly so many different options that they could really go to if they wanted to. But there is your king, ladies and gentlemen, King Roman Reigns, the winner of the King of the Ring tournament, where he won that World Heavyweight Championship in the first place. But that's when Drew McIntyre would cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase and would hold it on until SummerSlam, where Roman Reigns, with the help of Solo Sikoa, would walk out with that World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns, certainly one of a kind, but certainly couldn't get it done by himself. Certainly it looked like Dolph Ziggler, he hit a famouser, but then that's when Solo Sikoa would come in and take out the competition, take out Dolph, take out Drew McIntyre, leading to Roman Reigns picking up that win. As here comes the Usos, and you know, big question coming out of this as well for the Usos is, when do they pick the right spot? Because they do have a Raw Tag Team Championship opportunity whenever they please. So when the Usos decide to go to Shawn and say, hey, I think it's time, we'd love to use our opportunity right now. But I bet the Usos, they probably won't say this out loud in the public to us, but they would probably have to go with Roman Reigns and kind of talk, say, hey, Tribal Chief, what's going on? Hey, you think this would be a good time? Or, hey, do you think we're right place, right time type of thing? It's just how it operates. You got to go to the Tribal Chief first and make sure everything is fitting for his way. The Usos have held Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships throughout the years. Certainly one of the best tag teams we've ever seen here in the series, up there with the New Day and even the Shield. As now here comes your enforcer of the bloodline, the man that put down Drew McIntyre earlier on tonight with the help of Dolph Ziggler. Obviously Dolph not really caring too much about the bloodline or even helping Solo. It was about getting in the head of Drew McIntyre. We don't know why exactly Dolph Ziggler is coming after Drew McIntyre, but I'm sure we'll definitely get ourselves an answer. If not tonight, definitely within the next couple of weeks leading into Backlash. It is certainly going to be absolutely awesome to build up to a lot of these big time matches. And I'm actually can announce, ladies and gentlemen, that we do have a couple big time matches coming your way once again at Backlash. For a second time ever in the series history, AJ Styles and Kurt Angle will go once again live there at Backlash, as well as we are going to be seeing, drumroll please, Gunther takes on Seth Rollins once again live at Backlash. Another big time match, as well as the already announced matches for the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, as here comes Bray Wyatt. You got The Undertaker coming out here with him as well. But with some of these matches, ladies and gentlemen, it's absolutely going to be hard-hitting. Yes, we have seen it, but it adds more and more depth to it. Kurt Angle, he came out here, going to come out here and congratulate AJ Styles. He did, and AJ not really falling for it, and AJ saying, hey, I'm done dealing with this. I don't even know why I'm coming out here. And ultimately saying, Kurt's like, hey, we're just literally getting started. And Kurt would go on to hit the Olympic Slam on AJ Styles. So, the intensity is definitely brewing there. And, we also saw the number one contender matchup earlier on tonight where Ilya Dragunov won. And Ilya Dragunov will be taking on Austin Theory for that United States Championship, as well as Damage Control. Damage Control will be taking on Asuka and Becky Lynch for the Women's Tag Team Championships live there at Backlash as well. The matches are starting to get confirmed. We have literally the total 4 weeks away from Backlash, as there is the Dead Man and Bray Wyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, the family is here. You're seeing two members of the family. Who are the other two that are going to be representing the Wyatt family here tonight, ladies and gentlemen? And we've heard that music before, ladies and gentlemen. You have one of the most underrated tag teams here on Monday Night Raw, and we were actually able to hear backstage briefly from the different version of Bray Wyatt. We were able to actually have a message sent to us by Firefly Funhouse version of Bray Wyatt, sending us a message about the Viking Raiders, saying, hey, they're certainly one of the better tag teams here in WWE. They're not able to showcase what they bring to the table all the time because, these other tag teams. So with Eric and Ivar being a part of this new version of the Wyatt family, different version of what we've also heard rumors of being called the Wyatt Six as well. This addition with Eric and Ivar, I absolutely love it. Yes, it's a little different from that eerie darkness, but you got the Vikings. After the referee rings the bell, Roman Reigns and The Undertaker are going to kick us off here. But I love the addition of Ivar and Eric brings so much to this family because they're already a solidified tag team. So if the Wyatt family ever want to go for the tag team championships, and I wouldn't put it past them, certainly look for Eric and Ivar to make their presence known here very, very soon in this tag team division. Obviously, we know the Usos can already get a championship shot whenever they want to with that Raw Tag Team Championship thing that Shawn Michaels gave them after they vacated the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And now main event, Jey Uso going to get tagged in here. And with the big stipulation for this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, the winning team. So like I mentioned before, Roman Reigns' team wins. Roman gets to pick the stipulation in his world title defense. If Bray Wyatt's team, the Wyatt family, win, Bray Wyatt gets to pick the stipulation against Roman Reigns. And, you know, there's so much potential in what exactly the stipulation could be, because if you guys remember, you know, last month, Bayley won, or I should say Io Sky and Dakota Kai picked up the win over Bianca Belair, where Bianca Belair, when she lost that matchup, that gave the opportunity for Bayley to pick the stipulation. She picked a last woman standing match, and ultimately Bayley would walk out with the Women's World Championship, and essentially it was all to the help of Damage Control of Dakota Kai and Io Sky saving the day for Bayley, and which was perfectly legal. And it's not like Bianca Belair has any, you know, backup per se here on Monday Night Raw. Damage Control just playing the numbers game, and it's perfectly legal, even though we hate to see it. As here comes Eric with a brutal suplex there to Jimmy Uso. This matchup is breaking down here, ladies and gentlemen. Roman Reigns getting Jimmy Uso, making sure nothing else would happen to him, but this matchup is breaking down. But I do, like I mentioned, I do like the Viking Raiders being a part of this. You know, they certainly showed potential there in NXT when they first came into WWE, and then just being here in WWE in general after that. Yeah, they had their opportunities, they had their shots here, they were really good, they're still really good, but they just haven't had their opportunities, which there's a lot of times as a WWE superstar, there's times where you gotta wait and pick that right opportunity and continue to scratch and claw until the right opportunity comes along. And well, you can see it right now, Bray Wyatt building his family, and it's not, you know, traditional family. Obviously, Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy coming to terms with, you know, building this whole different variation of what they see for the future of this family. Especially the dead man, The Undertaker. I mean, obviously, The Undertaker, you know, his plans are, from what we understand, they may have changed. You know, plans on retiring up at this year's WrestleMania. So, you know, the question is that still going to happen? Is Undertaker, you know, if that were to happen, is he actually going to take more of a mentorship of the Wyatt family and lead Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, the Viking Raiders to the promised land, to being dominant here on Monday Night Raw? The possibilities are endless. It's a brutal maneuver there from Ivar. Big time tag. Oh, I want to see this. Ivar and Solo Sikoa, two big men of this. And oh, look at Ivar with a big strike there to the World Heavyweight Champion. For big man, Eric and Ivar can certainly move around that ring like cruiserweights. They got that strength, that power, though, that, you know, that helps, definitely brings them to the table and makes them one of those tag teams, ladies and gentlemen, that you got to look out for. Certainly, you know, they can deal with the cruiserweights. They can deal with those teams that rely on strength and power. That's what you just got to love about having a tag team like that, where they can, you know, deal with all sorts of tag teams that are all over. As now Bray Wyatt with that running senton right there to the ribs of Solo Sikoa. And certainly the bloodline knows all about Bray Wyatt. We know about the history. If you guys are new about it, ever since Royal Rumble of last year, Bray Wyatt kind of snapped, and it became worse and worse, and to where Bray Wyatt, you know, he believed that he should have won the Rumble. Ultimately, he didn't. So it came down to where Bray Wyatt was going to do anything means necessary to take out anyone to get what he wanted. And he took out SmackDown General Manager The Rock at that time and Roman Reigns. Night 1, it was The Rock. Night 2, it was Roman Reigns. The first night, he had to defeat The Rock to even get a Universal Championship match at WrestleMania Night 2. Obviously, Bray Wyatt won Night 1, going on to Night 2, and Bray Wyatt would win that. And then Bray Wyatt would hold on to that Universal Championship all the way until the King of the Ring, where we would unify the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship, making it the Undisputed Championship, and that is where Cody Rhodes would go on to defeat Bray Wyatt. Despite Uncle Howdy helping him out, the Mandible Claw here to Jimmy Uso, but Jay helping out his brother here. And that blood just dripping down Jimmy's face. Bray Wyatt talking to his family right now, just telling him to just ravel in what they are. And Bray Wyatt turns in Roman Reigns inside out. Jey Uso helping out his cousin. And now look at this. Look at this maneuver. This headlock maneuver. Just going to try and suffocate Bray Wyatt. But Bray not going to go down like that. And certainly Roman is not going to be 100% after being tombstone, after being hit with Sister Abigail, being put through 2 announce tables himself. Somehow, some way, he is here tonight. And especially with his World Championship celebration here tonight as well, as look at Bray Wyatt just choking the living hell out of Roman Reigns there. Bray Wyatt just taking it all in here in this main event, Madison, Wisconsin. It has been a great night, and it's going to even continue to get better. Look at that blood dripping down the right eye there of Jimmy Uso, just trying to fight back. Wasn't able to connect with that Samoan drop it looked like he was going after, but now he's going to be able to hit that power slam. Absolutely beauty of a matchup right now. A lot of back and forth, and for this matchup is going to be perfectly fine for Solo Sikoa because, yes, he did eat some damage in that matchup against Drew McIntyre, but this matchup he can take his time and, recuperate. And now Jay going to look to take out Eric here and throws him over the top, and now he's going to go after Ivar briefly. If I'm the Usos, going to be very careful there. You do not want to piss off the Viking Raiders. And now Bray Wyatt. Ooh, brutal DDT there from main event Jey Uso. Bray Wyatt going to look to maybe get a tag here. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Here comes the dead man. Undertaker, he gets hit with a clothesline. Jey Uso was waiting for him. And now Jey going to look to take out the whole family possibly. This ain't good for Jey. Looking for some snake eyes. Vintage Undertaker with that maneuver. And I love what the Undertaker's doing right now. Instead of, maybe trying to put away Jey Uso himself, he's going to let Eric try to maybe put him away himself. Like we mentioned, Eric and Ivar are not getting too many opportunities over the, last couple months, or maybe honestly over the last year. So I think this is a great opportunity for Eric and Ivar to step up to the plate. It's sink or swim in this opportunity, especially when you're facing off with the Bloodline. Big reversal there from Ivar, or I should say Eric, pardon me. And now, we've seen this before. Brutal roll through knee strike. One of the most brutal knee strikes you'll ever see here, especially here on Raw. And now it is time to raid Jey Uso here, it seems, but Jey Uso is not going to allow that to happen, or at least briefly, as he gets hit with that clothesline. And another brutal knee strike. Take too many of those, it is going to be game over. And now here comes the dead man. Here comes the Undertaker. But just too slow, and Jey Uso able to take down Undertaker briefly. But just like that, man, and Jey Uso just bringing the fight to the dead man. That's what you got to do. You cannot be scared. You cannot back down from the dead man. You got to bring the fight. You got to take the fight to him. As Jey Uso with that Uranagi right there. And oh no, it is time to choke slam to hell for Jey Uso. Pinfall opportunity. Is that enough? But no, it is not. As, oh my goodness, Roman eats a brutal, absolutely brutal forearm strike there. And now, I think Undertaker was setting up a potential tombstone pile driver there, if I'm not mistaken there. but not able to connect fast enough. And now the Usos, what are they thinking? Uh-oh. Time for the 1D on the dead man, the WWE Hall of Famer. And it's time to acknowledge the Usos there. Go for the pinfall. Taking way too much time to rub it in the face, and now they're going to go for the pinfall opportunity. Referee making sure he is in the right position, and the dead man able to kick out after that brutal 1D maneuver there. A little different variation of what the Dudleys do with the 3D. Oh, and then that spinning heel kick there, and now Ivar. Can he put away Jimmy Uso here? Perfect opportunity for the Viking Raiders. Oh my goodness, what a maneuver. Pinfall, is this it? But the Tribal Chief is right there. He is not going to lose this matchup, and Bray Wyatt certainly going to make sure he gets Roman Reigns the hell out of that ring so he cannot screw this matchup anymore. As now Samoan drop there from Jimmy. If you guys are tuning in now, it's been one heck of a night, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen a lot of crowned #1 contenders, and it'll be very interesting to really see how Backlash is going to be turning about. Especially, we're going to be seeing some rematches from SummerSlam, and with the Raw exclusive pay-per-view, it gives more depth instead of, it maybe sometimes feeling rushed. You're going to see that now with the build-up of Backlash. They're going to have their own matches and more matches for these superstars to step up to the plate. As a pinfall opportunity, try to knock off the Tribal Chief there. But we got Gunther and Seth Rollins. Once again, that is going to be one hard-hitting matchup there. You're going to get AJ Styles and Kurt Angle for a second time as well. Kurt is not done with AJ, as well as we're going to see Ilya Dragunov challenging for Austin Theory's United States Championship. Also, the OC will be taking on Alpha Academy for the Raw Tag Team Championships. That'll be very interesting to see. We're still got to figure out who Bronson Reed is going to be facing off with. It's got 4 weeks time. We got plenty of time with that. And, the list goes on, especially with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. That is going to be one hard-hitting contest as well for the World Heavyweight Championship. The stipulation is still up in the air. We'll have to wait and see how this matchup is going to fare. Will Roman's team win, or will Bray Wyatt's team, as a double back body drop takes down Ivar? And now here comes Eric. Now we get Solo and Eric in the ring. Big running knee strike takes down the Enforcer. Is this enough? 2. No, strong kick out by the Enforcer. Solo keeps himself in the matchup. And look at Eric with you could consider that a cheap shot, possibly, even though Roman does technically deserve that. Now into the corner we go. Solo trying to get something going there. Trying to fight out of the corner. And look at that. We saw that earlier tonight to Drew McIntyre. Absolute brutal Samoan drop, and the dead man's like, hell no, you are not going to end this matchup like that. And look at Roman and Undertaker face to face there just for a brief second. You could just feel it in the air between both of those men. A match that we'd love to maybe see down the line as a gut wrench slam takes down Solo. And now another tag. Here comes the main event, Jey Uso. Going to look to bring that fight to Eric. Been a great night so far. It continues to get better and better, especially with what we are seeing here tonight. Hook of the leg, pinfall opportunity. Will that be enough? The Viking Raiders are looking great tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for the amount of time that they have not been able to actually wrestle on Monday Night Raw or whatever brand they have been on. They're showing great resolve, a lot of digging down deep, especially with one of the best stables in all of WWE, one of the best tag teams. The World Heavyweight Champion currently, you got the Enforcer, Solo Sikoa. Eric and Ivar doing great so far in their first action with the family tonight. And now got our double team maneuver here with a back body drop there to Eric. Certainly a lot of damage. All 4 members of each team certainly feeling the pain and suffering in this matchup. I thought maybe for a minute Jimmy may try to go for what his dad likes to do with that running butt to the face type of thing. Pinfall opportunity, referee right there in position. Ivar right there to break it up, though, saving the day. As Solo and Ivar go back at it briefly. And, oh, wait a minute. Look at the strength of Jimmy taking down Ivar. Ivar is a big man, and it's not something you can just easily do like that. And now, oh, look at the cojones on Jimmy coming right after Bray and The Undertaker. Probably not the best thing to be doing, but hey, I mean, if you got the cojones to do it, might as well do it. Send a message. You're not going to back down, and certainly you can definitely feel that between the bloodline. All 4 members of the bloodline certainly working well together tonight in this matchup. And ever since they've been together, they've had their ups and downs. A lot of ups though for Roman Reigns and the Usos, and especially Solo. He's continuing to figure himself out as a tilt-a-whirl slam there, taking down Mr. Eric. And now Eric is in trouble. Roman Reigns setting up the spear. The World Heavyweight Champion spearing him in half. Chopping him in half. That has to be it. 2. Oh, my goodness. Eric kicking out at the very last second. Now you got Solo and The Undertaker going at it here. This matchup is breaking down. I don't know how in the hell Eric is still moving. He got hit with a brutal clothesline, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fascinating. And now Undertaker and Roman going to go at it. Undertaker going to send a message to the World Heavyweight Champion right there. And now Eric taking out Jimmy Uso. This matchup is breaking down, ladies and gentlemen. This is not going to be good. Imagine if Eric or even Ivar were able to pick up a win over the World Heavyweight Champion. What would that do, of all things? As now a gut-wrench slam takes down the World Heavyweight Champion. Roman Reigns now, first time in this matchup, you could really say he is in trouble. And now here comes the dead man. Will The Undertaker put away Roman Reigns here tonight? And now Roman not going to back down. A lot of trash talk between both teams. Bray Wyatt talking trash tonight. And we even saw Paul Heyman. He was kidnapped by Bray Wyatt. That's why we didn't see him at first. Bray Wyatt brought him to the RV of the bloodline of all things. And essentially got this match to happen. And Shawn Michaels confirmed the matchup is... Uh-oh. Oh, look at this. Look at this. The strength of power. I think if we would have saw that before last year, I honestly think Roman Reigns would have gotten hit with that maneuver. But this is a different look in Roman Reigns, if that makes sense. It's a big clubbing forearm there. Bray Wyatt was just operating at a whole different level past Royal Rumble last year. I'm not saying Bray Wyatt still isn't operating at a whole different level, but Roman Reigns is certainly going at a different level as well. Match is breaking down. Jey Uso now coming after Eric here. Going to toss him onto the apron. Uh-oh. Oh, stunner. Takes him out briefly. Now Bray Wyatt from behind. Can maybe look to get a tag, possibly. And try to drag him over the corner. But Jey Uso going to not back down. Going to dig down deep and try and maybe get out of his own corner. Or his opponent's corner, pardon me. But a little bit of snake eyes. Little mockery of the snake eyes there, especially since Undertaker's in this matchup. And now into the corner we go. What does Jey Uso want to do right now? He has his opponent right where he wants him. Will be able to capitalize. Oh, brutal drop kick there from Jey Uso. Uh-oh. High risk, high reward situation for Jey. Uso splash there to Bray Wyatt. Will that be enough to put him away? Undertaker right there to break it up, though. So, like we mentioned, a hard-hitting matchup tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams putting it all on the line. They know how big this matchup is, and especially to pick the stipulation for their upcoming match at Backlash. I mean, this is a pivotal matchup for both stables here. And another super kick. No, he misses the second one. Bray Wyatt catches him and connects with his own clothesline. Uh-oh. No. Oh my goodness, he just snapped his neck. How is Jey Uso even moving at this point? And now just eating a brutal headbutt. And look at Jey Uso. Right place, right time for that man. Able to roll out of the ring. I think Bray possibly could have been setting up something. I don't want to
say anything that maybe he wasn't. But as now Jey Uso, big time suplex, little by little, try to dissect him as, oh my goodness, perfect super kick to the temple of Bray Wyatt there. And now Jey Uso with a perfect slap. Face to face with Eric there. Nice stunner there to the outside. The Bloodline, they have the perfect opportunity to pull off a win here. Uso splash, pinfall. Is this going to be enough? 1. Oh, but Bray Wyatt with a strong kick out. May have been close to a 2 count. I couldn't really tell, but at least he was able to kick out. Jey Uso now. Another Uso splash. Is that going to be enough? Referee in position. Yes, it is. The Bloodline pick up the win. Main event, Jey Uso picks up the win over Bray Wyatt. What a main event, ladies and gentlemen. And now Roman Reigns gets to pick the stipulation for his matchup against Bray Wyatt live at Backlash. What do you guys think Roman is going to be picking for the matchup? There's so many possibilities, and it's something we will have to wait and find out. I believe this is how we're going to end Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you live on NXT.